All right, students, today we are going to learn about perspective, and you should have written down all of these space notes, and I'm going to show you how to draw in perspective. We're going to learn about that in class, and if you missed it, this is the project we're doing, but I would like you to ask me about perspective if you have any questions. So what you're going to do is take your notes, page 6, and we're going to turn them over. We're not going to get to page 7 yet, but we're going to use the back side here for page 6, okay? And you're going to need a ruler and a pencil. So get those things so that you're ready. And once you have it ready, I want you to turn your sketchbook so that the binding is at the top and it's the long way, okay? And this is going to help us give us more space to make some art, okay? Just anchor this down. There we go. And then what I want you to do with your sketchbook and your ruler and your pencil, what you want to do is, and it's mandatory that you follow along and get these lines exactly right. Because if you don't get them right, it's going to cause a lot of issues in your artwork. So what I want you to do is find this perforated edge right here. There's a little line right here that's sort of dotted, and if you fold it on that line, it would pull out the paper nice and easy. And so what I want you to do is find that edge, and mine is right here, and I'll make it a little bit darker, and it goes all the way over here. And so that is the edge of the paper. If I was to tear it away, it would go give me a nice clean tear, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm going to find that edge, and I want to find this corner edge over here. And what I want to do is put the ruler right on the corner there, and take my ruler to the other side and put it on the corner there. And I want to draw a diagonal line lightly, because you're going to have to erase at some point. And you want to make it perfectly straight across so it touches edge to edge. If it doesn't go edge to edge, then I want you to take your eraser and erase it. And this is why we're drawing lightly. Okay? And then erase it, and then make sure that all your erasing shavings go in one spot so you can easily put them away in the garbage when you're done, so your space is nice and clean. So then you're going to find that corner, you're going to find the other corner, and you're going to draw a light line that goes all the way across, and you'll get a diagonal line that separates the page in half. And we'll do that again on the other side. So line up your corners right here, corner there, and corner at the bottom. And you want to hold your ruler, hold it tight. So once you get it down, you may even want to expand your fingers across it so you're putting pressure all the way across it so that your ruler isn't slipping or sliding. You're going to draw a straight line across so you get an X. Right here in the center is going to be our vanishing point, which I talked about in class today. And then what we're going to do is take our ruler right here, and you know what, I might actually make a line up here across the top just so that you can see where the edge of my paper is, okay? So I'm just working within this area right here. This is the top of my paper, here's the bottom sides, okay? This is my vanishing point right in the center. Then I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna put it right on 2. I'm gonna mark right where the 1 is, not the end of the ruler, but right where the 1 is, right there. And I'm gonna mark where the 4 is right there, okay? Now what I want to do is take my ruler, right where I put that mark for the 1, and line it up. But I also want to line up the top of my ruler with the top or that perforated edges. This will allow me to get a perfectly straight line, So I want to make sure that it is straight up here, and the side is right where I marked the 1. And so double check, triple check to make sure that is straight and it is lined up, and then my ruler is right here where the 1 mark was that I made, and then I'm going to connect this diagonal line to this diagonal line like so. Okay, and I'll do the same over here on this side where I marked for the 4. Here is my ruler, it is nice and straight. Make sure that my line over here is on there, and sometimes I like to put my pencil there just to make sure that I'm not going over, and so I can adjust my ruler if I need to. And so I'm going to check here, and then at the top, just draw it down and connect the double lines, and I get a bow tie. A bow tie, that's what we're looking for. Now, what I want to do is connect the top and the bottom. The way I'm going to do that is grab my ruler, and I'm going to line it up with the edge of the paper. and the edge of the paper will make sure that I have a nice straight line all the way across. And remember, your lines need to be absolutely straight. This is why we're reusing a ruler. No freehand, no jaggedness. If you have any wonky lines, it's going to show up and ruin your drawing. So absolute straightness is what we're looking for with this artwork. And so I'm lining up on the edge. I have it marked there and on there. So I'm going to take my hand and stretch it out. And you can stretch over if you want to see it, or you can hold it like this. And then you'll just want to put my pencil down here and look, and draw across. Now I have a top. I want to do the same with the bottom. And as you can see, I am putting the ruler towards me. So I'm not trying to go over it and look down. I'm looking at it right here, okay? And so lining up the edge right here with the ruler, getting my points marked out, and drawing across. Now I have a box in my drawing here. And this is looking fantastic. What I can do now is erase these lines that are going to my vanishing point right here. Just erase those. And this is going to make me a room. This is going to give me the space of a room when I erase this. And when I look at it and keep that vanishing point right there, I am going to have a wall, back wall of a room. Here's the walls, here's the ceiling, here's the floor, okay? And so when we look at it, we have all these things. Now we must remember every diagonal line that we draw has to go to the vanishing point. Every horizontal line has to be straight. Every vertical line has to be straight. And so we can do everything with this ruler. So I need to make a horizontal line right here across the center, because this is, well, let me just actually do this real quick. What I'm doing is taking my ruler to the vanishing point, right where it's at. I'll do this way so you can see. I'm lining it up on the side and lining it up right where the vanishing point is. And then what I'm going to do is hold it nice and straight, and I am going to mark a horizon line nice and lightly. So that is the top of where I see things. If I have a table, it's going to be the top of the table. If I have anything like that outside, like a window or something, that is where the ground is going to be. And so this is the basics of setting up a room drawing. Now it is just going in and drawing in all the cool things you can draw in a room. So I'm going to put a door over here, okay? So what I want to do is figure out where I want this door. I'm thinking I want the door like right here. Like there's some wall here, and then it's going to go up, and then it's going to go over and then down. And I think I want it to be about this wide. And so I just made these marks there because that's what I think I want. And so I'll line up my ruler with the top of the page where I made that mark, like so. And then I'm just going to draw a line up and down to that point. And I think it's going to be about that tall. All right? And then what I want to do is go over here to this one, line up my ruler at the top, found my mark where I want it, and draw a line up. And I can draw it up even further because I'll erase some. A lot of this is about erasing too, okay? So I have it, and this is my door frame. Now I need to put it into perspective. So I need to take this line and find my vanishing point, and then find the top of where I want my door to be, and then draw a diagonal line to that point. And then anything above that or on the outside of that line, I can erase, and that will give me a door jamb, okay? And if I want to see the side of the door, like the inside of the door, all I have to do is make another mark right here and line up my ruler for the width of it, and then use the ruler at the top of the page to make a line like so. And that will give me the inside of a wall. And you're like saying, oh, this doesn't look correct. Well, it doesn't down here. So what I can do is take my ruler right here and make sure it's straight across, and then find the short point and mark it, and then erase that little bit, and it'll give me the idea that there's a door back there and there's some space that you can go around this corner if you like. If I wanted to, if I wanted to close the door, I could erase this inside line right there. And then all I would have to do is take my ruler and go to the vanishing point. And where I think the doorknob's going to be is somewhere right here, okay? And so I'm assuming it's there. So I'm going to draw to the vanishing point at the top of it and draw to the vanishing point at the bottom of it. And then I can put in a circle right there. And it will give me the top and the bottom of that circle, and it'll give me a doorknob, and then I can put in something behind it, whatever I need for that door, okay? And so this is all about drawing lightly, getting things in place where you want them to, so that you can be successful. Now, if I wanted to, let's say, put in a fireplace or a window, maybe on this side, let's do a window. What I want to do is mark where I think I want a window. I think I want a window like, and you could do a TV too. I think I want a window right here, okay? And so I lightly penciled that in. But what I'm going to do is actually take my ruler, line it up at the top here, and I'm going to actually draw lightly a nice straight line, because that penciled in one that I just thought of didn't look so sharp, and it's going to look wonky. So when you actually take the time to use your ruler, these clean straight lines that you get from a ruler are going to look so much more amazing. So I have this vertical line. What I'm going to do is take my vanishing point and connect it to the top of that and draw lightly a diagonal line. And then I will do the same for the bottom of that vertical line and take it to the vanishing point. And now I have a window that goes all the way down. Now all I have to do is figure out how big I want the window. Do I want short like this? Or do I want it long like this? Or do I want it really long like this? And so what I can do, lining up my ruler at the top to get a nice vertical straight line. And I got myself a window. A window right there. I can put a tree out there, I can put the lawn, whatever I want. There's my window. I have my horizon line right here. So if I did put a tree in here, this would be like, here's a bush right here, and here is the sun rising up in the morning, okay? And I know that's the land right there that I'm using because that's my horizon line. I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna erase. Now if I wanna make this like a TV, like mounted on the wall, all I have to do is find that vertical line that I made and then just duplicate it a little bit right behind it. And then what I'm going to do is take my ruler, line it up with the side of the paper here, and draw a straight line over, and then the same here, straight line over, erase anything that's above it. And now it looks like there's a TV hanging on the wall, and you can build a frame for it just by taking some vertical lines on the inside of it. And maybe those are the speakers, and then taking some diagonal lines to the vanishing point, and diagonal line to the vanishing point below. And you get sort of like a framed type of thing. And then you can draw your sports people or animation in there, and it looks like a TV. Now, if you want to do something cool for the floor, what we're going to do is make wood floor, okay? And so what I'm going to do is everything is going to go from the vanishing point, all right? And what I want to do is pre-measure things first. So I'll take my ruler over here, and I think the easiest way to do it is turn it upside down. Or you can turn your page upside down. That also helps. And then what you can do is take it to the corner and put the 1 for the centimeters right on that edge. Or we could do inches. Let's do inches since you all know inches. Over here. Okay. And so my page is 10 inches long. I know that. So I'm going to mark every 1/2 inch. So the 1/2 inch is this one right in the center. So I'll mark right here. That's a 1/2 inch. I'll mark here. That's an inch. This is 1.5 inches. This is 2 inches. This is 2.5 inches. This is 3, 3.5. This is 4. This is 4.5. This is 5. This is 5.5. This is 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, and 10. Okay, and so I have all these marks there. I can turn my paper right back around. And what I'm going to do, simply, I'll just work from one side to the other, is take this vanishing point and line it up with one of those marks that I made right here. And I'll do that. So here's 1 or 1/2 inch right there. So I'm holding it down, and you may want to hold it down nice and tight so it doesn't move your ruler. And then I'm just going to draw lightly a line from the vanishing point to that 1/2 inch. Now I'll go to 1 inch. I'm just going to change the direction. So I have the mark there, and I have it on my vanishing point, and I'll lightly draw a line down. And then I'll move to the next one, which is 1.5 inches. And down. And I'm going to repeat that over and over, just making sure I'm lining these up. And that's going to make the illusion that there's wood there, okay, on the floor. So just keep doing this over, and make sure it's actually lining up with your vanishing point. You do not want it not to have your vanishing point, because then it'll mess up your whole drawing and things will get out of whack. Okay, and then it is just doing the rest of them. And remember to draw lightly. And look at this, I messed up. This line is going past it. So if you have any of that, just erase it. And then go back, line it up. It's important to be aware of what you're doing and looking at what you're doing, because you want it to line up with that. And I'm still not happy with that middle line because it keeps going off from my vanishing point. There we go. That looks way better. And this is going to give the illusion of floor. So I'm just drawing lightly, getting everything to my vanishing point. If my vanishing point isn't being used, I need to redraw the line. So right where that point is, there we go. That's looking better. Remember, I'm drawing lightly so I can erase things. There we go. Now it looks like I have a floor there. Now here's the next trick. You're gonna erase every little line right there that's inside this box that's attached to the floor. Okay? And by doing so, it's gonna give you this illusion that you have a wooden floor. Now if your lines aren't straight, it's gonna look wonky, and that's not okay. You need straight lines, and I would suggest erasing it and doing it again. Now, these are just straight pillars of wood, and that's not usually how wood is designed. So what I'm going to do is line up my ruler with the side, and I'm going to put planks in. So I'm just going to mark like every third or fourth one at a different location across, and you can do this multiple times. But we want it to look like a random pattern. And they'll move it down a little bit. And by making these lines horizontally straight, it is going to give you the illusion that you have different plank lengths in your drawing. And you don't want to do the same ones over and over. You want to look for ones that don't have them. Okay, this one doesn't have them, this one doesn't have it, this one doesn't have it. And then you can even go further back. Make sure that it's perfectly straight on the side, because any wonky horizontal lines are going to look way off. And so you can see that it gives this illusion that there's wood planks coming towards you. So this is the basics of drawing a room. And once you get your room set up and you have your TV or your window in and your door in, you can erase all these lines here that are going to the vanishing point, even these ones on the wall, and clean it up. You'll have a basic room sort of setup. And this will give you that illusion that space is there. You can put in tables and chairs. You just have to use the vanishing point. So if I wanted to put in, let's say, a couch over here or a table, let's do a table. So what I would do is start with the height of the table. And so I will use my ruler here to give me a vertical line. I'm going to say it's about that big, okay? And so I have a vertical line or a horizontal line here. And then what I'm going to do is connect the edges with that vanishing point like so. And that will give me the length of the table, and then I can figure out how long I want it to be. Let's just say it's a smaller one. So I'm going to line up my paper on the edge there, and then draw in the end of the table. And I can race this little triangle here to the vanishing point. Now I have a tabletop that's just floating. And so then what I'll do, take my ruler to the top here, and draw a straight line down at the edge for the feet. And I'll go to the next edge, and I'm lining my ruler up with the top of the paper, and I'll draw the next one down. And I want to make sure that this one is further down than the first one. I'll do the same in the back here, and the back front here. And then what I can do, just to make sure those tabletops are lined up, I go to my vanishing point, and then I'll go to the longest or the furthest away thing, and I'll say, okay, that is where the table legs need to be, okay? That is the height of them to make this illusion of this space. And this one, so I don't really even see this one, and it'll give me this illusion that table lengths are the same. Make sure that these two legs are about the same length, because that is going to give you that illusion that that edge of the table is close to you. And so now this table looks like it's butting up to the back of that door. It's fantastic. If you want to put a picture on the wall, you can do that. Let's say you have a painting or something in your room. You can line up the top of your ruler and draw two horizontal lines that are the same length, or vertical line, they're the same length. And then you'll want to do the same, line up your ruler on the side to get your horizontal lines, and draw straight lines across, and just erase anything on the outside. And you get yourself a picture or another window in the back. And that is how you can quickly draw a room with one-point perspective. It's great for drawing inside of buildings or looking down long hallways. I would like you to practice this. Design a room as best you can, and let's see what you can make with this new skill.